It's still December 3rd, 2003. The tape I'm uploading already, a lot of people scattered. Because when you realize I've never talked to anybody, and Dave hired a drug cartel guy, his girlfriend's dad, to stalk, drug, beat, and rape me and to frame me, and he's part of the Mexican drug cartel. All the Latinos said they work for Pete. He's part of the Florida human trafficking gang. He's part of his son, Alex, I found out later, the white haired guy with his hair part on side, Dixie seen him, John seen him, Darlene seen him, that he's one of the light to medium grade trucks with the human traffickers. He's part of the Florida group, scamming people. You know, and it's just like where those agents made fun of me for some sexual predator named Pete was framing me and how I didn't know. And I found out Dave hired Pete on his own. It was his girlfriend's dad. To Photoshop me and to roofie me. You're sleepwalking with roofies. I've never met Pete. I didn't know who they were talking about for a year. And I still have never talked to him. And when you think of some serial rapist stalking some woman in her home, watching her as a sexual predator, breaking in, roofing her, stabbing her with date rape drugs, or roofing her drink when she's out of the room, and so she wouldn't know anything, and leave the poor victim throwing up when she wakes up, throwing up, dizzy, heart racing, and then have a personal infection. You realize how not funny this is. And I never see anybody, nor did I talk to them. See, where people laugh at me, but like they said, even the drug cartel found Pete's family that pathetic, that they thought that they had to do this to me for his daughter, where her mother bragged Memorial Day weekend 2019 for it's my daughter, her husband dates. And it's for my daughter they did all this for. Honey, that's not a compliment. They thought you were pathetic. That your family was that pathetic that they had to sink this low to break in the wife's home, drug her up, tell her to say stuff, Photoshop a washing scene I've heard, and stalking tapes, and left the poor victim drugged, beaten, raped, covered with bruises, throwing up, heart racing, and a severe personal infection because your husband's a rapist and a human trafficker, and so are you, and your family, and the cartel. That's not a compliment. And like they said, everybody that was helping out for her really did think she was that pathetic, that she just couldn't get somebody on her own. She couldn't on her looks or personality. They did it because your family was pathetic, that they had to sink that low to get her a man. That's not a compliment, honey. Not at all. And what the hell were those agents? Like they said, how stupid were those agents, acknowledging they knew what they were doing to her and who was doing it. And she didn't know, and laughing at her for being a victim. See, the only thing I knew is I was throwing up a lot, dizzy, heart racing, massive headache, almost passing out, bruises I couldn't explain, muscle pain from the bruises, and a severe personal infection. And the doctor at Altman Family Physicians, I've seen for all that. Did you fall? No. Maybe you're coming anemic. We'll get you some iron pills. We'll get you some muscle relaxers for the pain. I can't even hardly go to the bathroom. I just went from regular water to well water, and I thought the well water was eating my skin hair and being raped. To the point that I can't hardly pee. Sexually abused that bad. What was the FBI laughing at a rape victim? For a sexual predator pulling a sextortion scheme. Of photoshopping and washing. Andrew Arabeck is in jail in Ravenna. He was going on people's Facebook, Instagrams, photoshopping things and then getting pictures of people naked and then trying to extort money out of people. He had 7 victims. You take a naked picture of somebody without their permission. It's sextortion, and you try to get money. It's sextortion. It's a federal crime. It's 12 to 15 years. Let alone photoshopping a washing scene in the other room. Their tapes are so altered. March 13/21. To cover up the attempted murder of 12/21/18, Alec, the white-haired guy with his hair parted on the side, like I said, Dixie seen him, Darlene seen him, John seen him, stalking me. He's one of the gray trucks in the Florida group. I found out later it's one of Pete's sons. It's Michelle's brother. Had stabbed me in the neck, bashed me in the back of the head, beat and raped me, left his white coma on Dave's dresser. Okay, and Dave's accusing me of affair. I still have a dent in my head. So to cover it up, they told people they chipped me. Had people walk by, act like their phones are dinging. No, you can puppy chip anybody. A lot of big businesses, like sometimes they said even Amazon, or there was one out west, been doing it since 17. It's just a shot, and then you just walk up, scan to get in and out and different things, and to clock in and out. Okay, it's a puppy chip. But to pull the scam, that's what they were supposed to have done to me because they were FBI. To cover up the attempted murder. They even told Dr. Allentinez March 13/21 that they did it. They had fake FBI badges, got in the back of Altman Hospital. And then I found out from another health professional that the drug cartel was raping other women. And then telling them they chipped them when they were out. And if they try to tell the law, that they know where to find them and they couldn't hide them. It was a scam for them to get away with raping women. Okay? So they'd be too afraid to tell. March 13/21, after they pull their stunt at Altman Hospital, I leave and go to Mercy Medical. Lady comes in, no man was ever to touch her. Nurse comes in laughing with the guy. The only thing they had you on was adjusting yourself. The guy said, that's sick. She said, no, she simply wiped off water with clothes on. Just brushed, and he said, just brushed it off. He said, that's sick. She said, no, it's funny. They didn't have anything else. What's wrong? A simple action of just wiping something off with clothes on. Well, March 1st to 3rd of 21, they said they put two clips together, put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Don't worry about her. Then they start saying, you touch yourself, expose yourself, you touch yourself, look weird. Well, that's not wiping off water with clothes on. I thought you put my head on somebody else's body. I was so upset, I had literally pooped out blood for days. Okay. I literally pooped out blood for days. And then it's like, well, what would you be doing? They're playing with me hard. If you touch yourself, expose yourself, you're undressing. You touch yourself, and it looks weird, but you're not. You could be putting yeast infection cream on, but you get undressed and get in the shower, and you're washing. So it sounds like showering. I walked outside to smoke. She figured out what they did, laughing at me in the dark. May 12th, 22 at noon, the four to six men at Baba's restaurant. We found a tape of those boys emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22 at noon, the shower scene was done on purpose to make you look weird. Eric made fun of everything. Everything was directed in Photoshop. November 18th, 22. Walmart 62, 2 to 6 p.m. And then Lighthouse Tabernacle made fun of FBI agent John, June 7th, 23, how they fooled him. March 24th, 22, 1:30, they admitted a frame of me. They admitted from the first month of the case, they tried to pull a fast one on the cops, trying to say they were using sodium pentothal on me, and they were date rape, drugging me, and laughing how they had drugged me and told me to say stuff before where I had all the symptoms of being drugged, being raped. Okay. And they started from the first of the case in front of the cops, in front of people in Walmart and other stores. Okay. Then May 25th, 21, Wendy Screw was talking about the church people breaking in before drugging me, telling me to say weird on molester stuff. That's not funny. I got two witnesses in my phone. 8/9/21, the apartment building for me, second close to the fence, ratted out Dave, even though Dave defended me in front of the police. Carrying your good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids. You would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. Okay? But I would get sick on his drinks. And one time he made me coffee that I ran to the bathroom. I threw up like fire and had water blisters. He probably, and my nose blood. Probably tried to poison me. Alright. Alright. So, 4 or 5 neighbors got together, did a police report. 1295 Fairlawn. Screamed at a little white lady. Talked to several people in 21. December 9/21 at a Oakland apartment. in Canton, on Cleveland Avenue. Maintenance man, 4 p.m. They told him everything was direct and photoshopped, and it's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. Same day, white man bald with dark eyes distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street. There's only 4 or 5 volunteers. Can't found him. He actually worked the case as a guard. We always knew the tapes before with them and not her, so we never said a word. He talked to investigators by Christmas of 21 that it was some guy named Eric, and they didn't know who he was yet. January 1922, they told the Department of Disability I was drugged and told to say it before. February 2nd, 22, a Latino man in Burlington Coat Factory personally admitted he drugged me first and told me to say it. My client I was with looked at me and said, I heard that Latino guy say he drugged you and told you to say it before. I'm like, stay out of it, I'll tell the police. People, because they sold the login to everything, the FBI technology of listening through my phone and everything. People went running in to save a lot. My client across from his apartment, the brown house, across the way, an African-American man ran out and yelled at Postman. Postman's like, we all heard it. Okay, there is an investigator from Ravenna and a Black Sebring. He pulled up next to my clients. He was on the phone with somebody. I seen her out today. I found out that bastard really did drug her and tell her to say it before. Okay. All right. It's a lot. Then Eric confessed November 1822 that he photoshopped everything. For all the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it. For all these people turn on it and they actually fall for it. Okay, ID is Eric, November 24, 22. The nurse at Mercy Medical to Lady Canton officer. We all heard that. Eric make fun of us for falling for this. Nobody better say a word to her against it. Well, you know, the agent that bullied her into saying she was lying when she wasn't. My ex-husband, the first this year, confessed to our son that he hired Pete on his own, and Pete had me framed. Pete doesn't have anything admissible. You can't hire your girlfriend's dad in the drug cartel to stalk your wife, date, rape, drug her, tell her to say something stupid, and Photoshop a washing scene. In trying to escape prosecution, they were to be arrested the first day. The right to privacy. I told Officer Reinhardt about it in Louisville. He started laughing. He said, don't worry about a little thing. Even the FBI would go to jail for looking at him. He said, they can't even be in your home outside to protect a life case with statements. And that agent had agreed to protect you and have statements of the threat of life, or they couldn't even be in your home. And that's where the Portage County Sheriff's, it was none of our officers in your home, nor did we have any knowledge of anybody being in your home outside a protective life case. I said, with statements. He said, yes. I said, it's the Fourth Amendment. Yes. What these people did is illegal. Okay? Ravenna Police. My friend from the prosecutor's office, it's a fraud scheme. Okay? It's a fraud scheme. And, they can't do any of this, and no one can look or listen. Like Officer Reinhardt and Louisville, it wouldn't even matter if they had something on somebody. Nobody can look at it. That's where my friend from the prosecutor's office, they made a big mistake. They did it in your home. The right to privacy over your home. Plus you have and for every constitutional right broke, it's 1 to 10 years. Conflict of interest, 1 to 10. Like Officer Reinhardt said, Portage County couldn't work a case against you again your whole life with there being a retired judge from that county that rolled over it. They can't work a case against you your whole life. They go to jail for conflict of interest. Okay? I used to spend half the day, people would come up and laugh at me. I'd have more bruises than I'd be throwing up. They induced vomiting so bad my stomach shifted up underneath my ribcage. I'd already lost 18 pounds before I called the FBI and another 70 in protective custody. Okay. I've never been questioned of wrongdoing. I've never been prosecuted, and I've never found guilty. Like the people said, when you realize she's never talked to anybody, the thought of somebody having a tape before makes it really not funny. Scary movie, not funny. Sexual predator, serial rapist, preying on a victim in a sextortion scheme. And that agent was to arrest him, not make fun of the victim that's being scammed. See, where I called the hotline, that, and because they drugged me up for so many days I couldn't hardly get out of bed, he was already at that church by the third day, and I hadn't even called him back. Or he left a voicemail telling on me. He told the Apostolic Church of Barberton he knew I was being drugged, being raped, and didn't care, and tried to blame the Vegas for Strange's life of the faking you were sick and faking you got well. And it's a documented medication error, documented medical malpractice. But Strange made it up 6 months later when he thought I caught his son in adultery. And the Vegas are so fucked up. Their father ran a stop sign into a semi, killed himself and their kid. And they're taking all their hurt and pain and wanting just to kill somebody else that had nothing to do with her father killing her kid. Like my neighbor Becky, she said it's insanity trying to connect the two. It is. And that agent going along with that and bullying me, you either say you're faking you're sick or I won't help you and I'll leave you there. And I'm like, but I really was sick. Had 6 to 10 surgeries, muscles locked up, went to a bunch of crackpots, falsely diagnosed me across the board, gave me the wrong medication, swelled up like a balloon from my feet to my brain. My heart was getting off, my thyroid quit working, my adrenal gland quit working, tried to lie to me that I had brain tumors and I had brain swelling. They want to put a colostomy bag on me because their meds were making my stomach bleed. And it took another doctor to tell me they were just ripping me and my insurance off and getting kickbacks from the drug companies to get off the medication. Had to get with another doctor with high doses of pain medicine and slowly get well over 9 months. Almost died from medical malpractice. And so that agent, going along with a minister's lie, he stole my money the first day. Some guy walked by my apartment last night. We all know they couldn't ask her to stay quiet. No, they can't. Like my friend from the prosecutor's office. Being an informant, you can tell anybody you want. You're in the witness protection program, but it's different because you stay yourself and you feed them information. You can tell whoever you want. They can't open their mouths to you. He's only a higher police officer. He don't even have that kind of authority. No sitting judge would sign his own arrest warrant of taking your freedom of speech away outside a sequestered or a grand jury. Because of the freedom of speech. Constitution. The Department of Justice put that judge in jail. That agent was only bullying you for them to get away with this. He opened a real case with statements, though, with money immunity to get information on David Churches. Instead, they got Fentanyl King, a man impersonating a prince, scamming people out of almost $1 million and thousands of human traffickers. And they fed me to the human traffickers. And I want to know, FBI, where you're out saving hundreds of lives. Why didn't my life matter? The person you promised to protect. Why didn't my life matter? Why did my life matter? Me being human. Why did their lives matter more than mine? I want to know that. Why didn't you care that they were crushing my head and they were human trafficking me? They were beating, raping, and torturing me. Why didn't you care? You fed me to a cartel to get the bad guys. I'd like my damn money. You need to sweeten the deal. I've told the Department of Justice, like my friend from the prosecutor's office, you get your money if you work 5 minutes a case, an hour a case. They can't stop it from coming in. And they have to protect you the rest of your life with the Department of Justice to put them in jail. They can't close that case till you die. You can tell anybody you want and they can't open their mouths to you. And that agent already admitted he had the Vegas in their office and the church people and try to blame me for strangers like how you ruined their lives. And you need to realize what you done. I didn't ruin their lives. Her father did when he ran the stop sign. Putting that kind of hurt and pain on me for a lie a minister made up. That you were faking your sick, that's babyish. He could have told him I was a bank robber, a stripper. Still had nothing to do with her father killing her kid 15 years before. That a cult was making up excuses to kill people. And he admitted he made fun of me for some guy named Pete framing me and how I didn't know. And found out it was a shower scene in the other room in a roofie confession. Like I said, I used to spend half the day running around. I've never heard anybody, never said you did. I've never flashed anybody, never said you didn't. If they're going to make up stuff like that, Mom, I'd move away. Huh? My ex-husband defended me. Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids. You would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. I taped him, so the police. August or September of this year, the main cop, the heavy-set officer with white hair, was talking to a lady outside at Kohl's and real loud so the whole parking lot heard. My car's bugged. None of this is funny. We weren't allowed to tell her the FBI left her there. She said, did her ex-husband defend her? He said, yes, we taped him. Then they had to have framed her. He said, it's documented they framed her before. She's like, none of this is funny. He said, it's also documented it was a medication error that made her sick before. And it's also documented some other woman was using her insurance. She's like, none of this is funny. She said, was it the drug cartel? He said, yeah, it was the drug cartel doing it to her. We seen him. She said, and the FBI left her there. He said, yeah, I know. And then the police and the marshals used the case to get thousands of bad guys. And so did the FBI. I call it a nationwide human trafficking scam. They call it countrywide. Like they said, the only things coming out is Will stealing. It also came out that Will took a bribe from Pete. The cartel paid off a sheriff in Ohio $100,000 to look the other way. They found out and he finally got arrested. Enough people told on him. They bragged November 19th, 23. Burger King screaming out, Pete tape Will taking a bribe. November 20th, 23. The ladies were admitting that they were part of taking the bribe. They told Will to take the bribe till they found out what was going on. And they were admitting they were stealing my money inside Walmart by the front register 8 to 9 in the morning. Okay? They're embezzling it. Okay? She was part of it. My ex-husband fled the country November 21st, 23. Told my son he's never coming back. The FBI needs to go get him. See, that's where Officer Reinhardt in Louisville, it wouldn't even matter if they had something on somebody. You know what? They actually have the churches taking up $25,000. It was Keith Bishop, Strange, and Ron to hire these people to kill me. Because Ron's lost it and wants me dead because the Stranger's lying. And that Dave and Jack had this plan since March. They had that. And that Dave hired killers himself for him and his girlfriend to get everything. They didn't even work out. Huh? Broke up in 19. It was no longer fun for her. Right after the divorce. She's in the drug cartel, the Mexican drug cartel. Told you one of the Latinos following me, harassing me. Even this one gas station attendant seen him in Louisville. Okay? They're part of the Mexican drug cartel. They're hired killers. Some lady said, thank God one of the officers following her realized who he was. And they got him. She's starting to realize who's around her. The people harassing me are the hired killers. They said they'd wait and kill me after Dave wasn't connected. Well, Dave abandoned ship and left Pete and Will and John holding the bag. Pete can't go around as a retired judge breaking in people's homes, drugging them up and telling them to say stuff. He can't Photoshop shower scenes and in a sextortion scam with the drug cartel. That agent was to arrest them for confessing that Dave hired a hitman to stalk me. You can't interfere in somebody's life. You can't be in somebody's home. You cannot be a peeking tomboy or some dates. Makes you sexual predator. Like they said, with these people admitting to taping in the bathroom. They even obtained and dispensed kiddie porn. We all know they taped those kids going potty. And he didn't arrest them. And he admitted to them that they were drugging me up to get the so-called truth for them to drug me and tell me to say crazy crap. Huh? I've never talked to him. I've never even met him. I would come in from working, take a drink out of, wash my hands, make something to eat and drink, go in, use the bathroom, come back out and take a drink and get dizzy. And hours have passed and wake up and I'm like, where did it hurt? My arm or my leg? And I felt sick. Or I'd wake up with marks that look like injection marks. And I kept going to the doctor. I don't know what's wrong with me. You don't remember. That's where sheriffs out of this area, what's wrong with your local police? You're sleepwalking for 4 to 6 hours under those date rape drugs with no memory. We all know that. We all know you can Photoshop anything from words to scenes. Huh? See, my friend Keith has a friend that works for Facebook, said Facebook knew that they were even doing that to people. Photoshopping scenes, taking words out of other sentences, make a new sentence, and then tape over it. Jim, my one neighbor, his son edits movies for a living. He said he could do that easily. He could take a shower scene and washing, just click and paste it in the other room. He could click and place clothes on it so it looks like you're crazy sitting there washing with clothes on. He could put your head on somebody else's body and then he could do the sentence thing and tape over and make a new sentence. He can Photoshop anything. where they've already admitted they photoshopped everything. Apparently they did. I've never talked to anybody. They admitted to racing some guy named Chris out of the room. I never had Chris in my house. I've never even talked to Pete. I've never talked to anybody. You want to talk about scary movie shit? I'm gonna blow this.